Hey, what's happening, everybody? Time to add to your exercise-based knowledge with this week's exercise of the week. Today we're going to look at the reverse lunge jump. Now, this exercise, like a lot of them that we've been doing lately, come directly out of R20 workouts, and we gotten some interesting feedback on this particular exercise, i.e., it sucks. Everybody's hated this one, partially because of the exercise, but also how we perform the exercise within the R20 workout, which I'll explain in a little bit. But basically, this exercise is a really good example of an already really effective exercise, such as the reverse lunge, and implementing it in a different way, just kind of taking it to a new level and having it almost like become a new exercise just by the way that you've tweaked it up a little bit. In this case, by adding a jump to it. So we're going to take a look at that and how that works and how to do this exercise. This is a really good overall leg development exercise, especially if you do it the way that we're going to do it today, by just doing one leg at a time and then switching instead of alternating from rep to rep, from side to side. So let's take a look at it. So basically you step back into a reverse lunge. You want to keep your weight kind of centered over your front leg so that that front leg is doing all, if not or all or most of the work at least. There's a little bit of push off from the back, but primarily you want the back leg there for balance and just to kind of support everything as you reach down into that deep lunge position. So in this case, instead of just coming forward and up from that reverse lunge, you're going to kind of continue bringing your back leg and knee straight forward and then up into kind of a throwing sort of motion, generating a little bit of momentum and then actually leave the ground as you push off with that front leg. So the idea here is not to try to jump out of the atmosphere here off the ground, but just to get a little bit of clearance off the ground. That simple action of getting a little bit of clearance off the ground is going to force your front leg to do a little bit more work and be a little bit more explosive and exert itself a little bit more to accomplish that. And that's really all you need, just a little bit more oomph, if you will, to each contraction of the muscle. So what you want to be doing is that, just slowly go back into that reverse lunge, and you'll see a couple times here in the video, and this is also a complaint that I got from a lot of the R20 subscribers, is that it was really hard to keep balance. And so the emphasis here is not for speed. It's not to, again, jump as high as you can. At first, the emphasis really needs to be on balance as you go back. Support yourself with that back leg. Let the front leg kind of be the strength part of that balance, and then come back forward and up in a into the starting position in a kind of a slow and controlled speed. And then at the very last, I don't know, maybe third of the movement is when you kind of ramp the speed and intensity and explosiveness up into the jumping part of the motion. Okay, so try that a few times. In this exercise, what we did was, I believe it was 10 reps on one leg, and then we switched to the other side. And that's what I was kind of referring to earlier. One of the other reasons on why people thought this was so terrible of an exercise was that you weren't alternating, going one rep to one leg, then one rep to the other leg. It was just 10 and 10 and 10. And so you just kind of load up the thigh and the gluteus muscle on one side in a really intense fashion by doing that lunge and then springing up into a jump and repeatedly doing that 10 times on one leg. It's really, really got an interesting training effect that you'll feel there. It'll burn. So this is the reverse lunge jump. Try it. Again, at first, go slow. If you need to have like some sort of support, like a chair next to you or a railing just to help you with the balance, that's totally fine. But this is a really, really awesome exercise if you want to burn more calories in less time, or also if, again, like we talked about earlier, you're used to doing something like a reverse lunge and you want to add a little bit more of a challenge to it. Okay guys, so there's a link on the screen right now to check out more about the R20 training system, again, from which this exercise was pulled, and there's lots and lots of other ones like it, all combined together in an unbelievable training program that burns a ton of fat in a short amount of time and gets you really toned and tight by just short 20-minute but intense workouts that you can do a few times a week, either by themselves or in addition to the workouts that you're already doing. It works either way. So click on that link if you want to learn more about R20, and I will see you guys next week for another exercise of the week. Aloha!